Hello, good morning. Welcome to another video from T.W White Sons Mazda. Here we have a Mazda CX-3. This is the Sport Nav Plus 2-litre petrol manual, presented in Arctic white with the black leatherette interior. We took this in sort of last knock-ins last night, giving it a quick clean for the aid of the video and the photos, and we're absolutely delighted to have this car in our used car offering. As I take you around the car, I always like to give a little bit of background on the vehicle, especially if we do know, where the car came from, the owner, etc, etc. Now, this car belonged to a long-standing customer of ours. She picked up her new CX-30, yesterday. White again. She always has white cars. She's a local lady. We're in Orpington here. And she's had Mazda 2s. I think this is her second. She's had two Mazda 2s. She had one CX-3, and then now she's got a CX-30. So it's her fourth car. She likes to change them every sort of 2.5, no longer than 3 years. She never keeps them longer than 3 years. And then she's kept it in really, really lovely condition. I've taken plenty of photographs, so please do study them. And I like to be completely transparent in my videos and descriptions of cars. And let's have a look. There's a tiny little nick on an alloy there, which we shall have done. Tiny little nick there, and these are all normal things. I don't remember having a car with no marks on the alloys. That one is unmarked, and there's a tiny little nick there. So all those three wheels will be done. Now my memory's failing me, but I've got a suspicion the car has recently been serviced. But if it hasn't, we shall be doing it, ready for the next owner, as well as a fresh MOT. But I've got a sneaky suspicion that was done a couple of months ago, but I could be wrong. Now, this is sort of the latest incarnation of the CX-3. I think they came up to about a 69 plate, and that's when the CX-30 came in. But we've still got a lot of demand for these CX-3s. They're very popular. In fact, they've become a more popular car as a used car, I think, than they were a new car. And there's a real used car shortage at the moment. So, as I say, we are very, very pleased to have this car in our used car offering. Now, let me start around the back. So you've got a reverse camera and sensors. Okay. Now, because it's and I have to check this because I don't want to get it wrong. Yes, because it's a plus model, you've got front sensors as well. Because the earlier cars only had rear. Let me show you in the boot. So it's got a good sized boot. It's not enormous, I'm not going to lie to you. But you've got this can be taken out, and then you've got more space under here. So you've got like a cavity floor which you can use, to put your chamois leather in and stuff. And then you've got space for a spare wheel should you require a spare wheel. And you've got the extra Bose speaker there to add to that sound quality, and it really is an excellent sound quality. Mazda have used Bose for some years now for their sport spec cars and upwards, and it's a bespoke system for the car. Sounds absolutely wonderful. There's your little camera there. Okay, so there's your boot. I would say that's a family friendly boot. You could get your push steering, etc. You've got ISOFIX anchorages in the back there. As you can see, back seats don't really look like they've been used. I do know the previous customer quite well. She doesn't have young kids or grandkids in this country, so I'd imagine she's probably been the only person sort of in the vehicle. The old Bose speakers, but it's all in really, really lovely condition. This is like the black leatherette that they do, so it's actually better wearing than leather. You've got the armrest, electric handbrake, so you've got a nicer, it's just nicer than the earlier cars. If you look at the earlier cars' interiors, and these are very are better. Not the previous cars are bad, but they are better. Nicer steering wheel. Now the headlining's all unmarked. Yes, it's all in really lovely condition. So let's go round to the driver's seat. Now, the cars have smart keyless entry. So if the key is on your person, press that button, the car will unlock. The car will recognise that you've got the key in your pocket, in your handbag, etc. On this panel here, you've got your electric windows, wing mirrors, auto folding wing mirrors. Here you've got traction control, which is something that I think every car has to have these days. Lane departure warning, so if you veer out of a lane without indicating, the car will warn you, just to say, you know, did you intend to do that? Pay attention. But you can turn it off if it irritates you. You've got an intelligent engine start-stop, so the engine will turn itself off when you're in traffic, when you've got the car out of gear, and you've got your foot on the brake to save fuel, to be less harmful for the environment, and ultimately save you money. And then here you've got your tyre pressure monitoring system. So a little symbol like that will flag up on the dash should you lose tyre pressure. I think it's a 4 psi threshold, which is really good because like myself, for example, I'd only check my tyre pressures if the car felt heavy. You know, it just felt a bit strange, and the tyre looked flat. If your tyre pressure falls 4 psi, it's not going to do that, but it will affect your handling, your fuel consumption, and your overall safety. So a nice feature that you'll see on a lot of cars these days. You've got height adjustable driver and passenger seat. Okay, so if your driver's all the way up, you can put the passenger up. So because it's a bit odd when one's all the way down and one's all the way up and you're sitting next to each other. So you've got your centre armrest, okay, all in there. That's a separator there. Electric handbrake, 6-speed gearbox, climate control. Now I'll start the car up just so we can show you these features. So 2 keys with the car, foot on the brake, that lights up green, press the button, and this pops up. Now, it's difficult to see. Now, it looks like the speed's flashing there, but that's just the resolution of my camera isn't that great. But you'll get your speed, your basic sat-nav function, speed limits, etc. So information up there that you can get without looking over there and without looking down there. So if you can imagine, if you're traveling at, you know, motorway speeds or any speeds at all, you're better off looking straight ahead and seeing the information than down here. So something, again, I think you'll probably see on a lot of cars in the future, and maybe a mandatory requirement for cars sold in this country. So there's the mileage there, 19,411 miles. In case I didn't mention it earlier, so the car was bought brand new by the previous customer, and we've always looked after her. Okay, right, you've got automatic wipers, automatic lights, they are excellent. Cruise control, volume control here, info is like your MPG and bits and bobs. Now, previous owner, with her profession, she does a lot of home visits, and we are in sort of southeast London, so she round town she'd be getting 37 to the gallon, which is fantastic. But if you did more of a mix like I do, you'd be getting into the 40s. And this is a 2-litre naturally aspirated, so no complicated turbos or anything like that to cause unreliability. And it's nice and drivable being a 2-litre. A lot of the competitors, and don't get me wrong, we sell our competitors' cars as used cars, you know, have 3-cylinder engines and stuff. They just don't drive as nice as a nice 4-cylinder. Okay, heated seats, 3-stage. Heated steering wheel, my favourite feature all year round. CD player, SD card there for your sat nav, 12-volt socket there, 2 USBs. All right. Okay, right. So let's move over to this screen here. Now this is touch screen. Okay. However, once you're moving, it disables as a touch screen, and then to operate it, you've got to use this multimedia commander. I call it the human interface. You've got some quick keys here like music, home screen, nav. Okay, so look, home screen. Application page has things like fuel economy monitor, vehicle status monitor, like if it's out of petrol or needs a service, etc. You can upgrade this for £350, okay? But if you do buy it with this car, we'll have a little bit of a deal for you. You could do it at a discounted price, but you can have this upgraded to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So then you can mirror your apps from your phone onto this screen. You can, obviously not all the apps, but they do convert into like a driving app, so they're not entirely like the ones you get on your phone for obviously safety reasons. But then you can enjoy things like Apple, Spotify, WhatsApp, Google Maps, Waze, and amongst many others. Now, entertainment. I certainly can really entertain myself here. DAB radio. You've got all the channels, all the genres from all around the world, so there's always something to listen to on there. I tend to just listen to LBC radio, but you also do have the traditional FM and AM. Now, FM, I heard the other day a couple of channels being switched off and going straight over to DAB, so this car is future-proofed. You've got AHA, Stitcher, internet channels. I've never used them. As I say, DAB does enough for me. And Bluetooth, you can stream anything from your phone onto here, music-wise. And you can stream from the USBs as well. I often listen to, like, I finish off documentaries I've been listening to in the evening on YouTube, or watching on YouTube in the car on the way to work when I've fallen asleep. So, but you can play music through it, etc., etc. Communication. Once the car is paired up via the Bluetooth, it takes seconds. You only have to do it once. Your phone's call lists, phone book, SMS. If you've got an Android phone, it will read your text messages to you. So that's all nice, but sort of full access to your phone's phone book. Navigation. Now, you have a built-in navigation system. It's really good. I've travelled all the way to sort of south of Warsaw using this system, and it's been absolutely fine. Put your postcode and off you go. Obviously, some places don't have postcodes, especially abroad, not in the UK. So you can search by town, street, and whittle it down that way. When you're travelling along, you may want to find a point of interest en route, or around here, or on the way to along your route, or at your destination. Now, I'm always picking up cars, different depots, etc., and I quite often pick up cars with zero fuel in them. So I always do a little search. Fuel stations come up, the direction and the distance. And for example, with myself, we have a BP fuel card, so I'd click on that because that's where we would be going. Now, you can set up a Wi-Fi hotspot from your phone, so your car is connected to the internet. When you do that, you'll also get fuel prices that will come up here. You also get live traffic updates, weather reports. So yeah, really nice and comprehensive. And let's go to the settings page. So remember that heads-up display I was talking about there? Look, you can adjust that. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. Can you see that moving? There you go. All right, so that adjusts electronically. Yep, so you don't do any of this, okay? Please don't. It all adjusts from here, but obviously we'll do a full handover of the vehicle for you when you collect it. You've got like brightness control, and you can even turn it off all over there. I don't know why you'd want to turn it off. You can turn this display off as well, amongst other settings. Safety, right, so you've got smart city brake support, so there is a camera up here. If you get too close to the car in front and you're doing under 20 miles an hour, the car will brake, okay? It's not intrusive, so if you were steering, braking, accelerating, you know, you're involved in the driving of the car. This is for example, if you were, I don't know, you're looking out the window, all right, it's a hot day, you're in traffic, and you kind of doze off, or you lose attention to the road, you get too close, boom, it'll put the brakes on. Now, the fantastic thing about it is insurance companies recognise cars with this, so it should lower your insurance premium, because most accidents, not most, but a high proportion of accidents happen at very low speed. You've got lane departure warning, which I mentioned earlier, okay, if you veer out of a lane. Traffic sign recognition, parking sensors, all right. Then sound settings, so you've got the infamous Bose stereo, which sounds amazing. I'm sure you've all heard of this brand of stereo. Clock is GPS synced, so you never have to change that clock. I always remember Ed Stewart, Crackerjack, customer of mine, I used to see him twice a year minimum just to change his clock. But you won't have to do this with this because it's done through the sat-nav. Vehicle settings, so rain sensing wipers, door lock, turn, lighting. So for example, door lock, I'm going to activate the walkaway lock. So when I walk away from this car with the keys on my person, the car will lock. Okay, and I'm going to turn the keyless lock beep volume up, and it will also bleep, so I know that this car is locked as I walk away. All right, one less thing to do. Now I know it sounds really lazy, but often when I leave a car these days, when I have my 2.5-year-old, I've got swim bags in my hand, him in another hand, and it really does help. Okay, and then you've got other nice convenience settings like interior light timeout, so 30 seconds. So if you have the doors open for more than 30 minutes, lights will go out, stop your battery from going flat. The light will close after 15 seconds after closing the door. You've got adaptive front light system, so the lights turn as you turn, which is absolutely amazing. It means you get to see everything. Coming home light, so when you lock the door, the lights was down for 30 seconds. You can adjust this, of course, the timing, until you get to your front door. Leaving home lights as well, so you open the car up, when it's dark the lights will stay on till you get to the car. So it's all really great stuff. Now we are almost 17 minutes into the video, so I don't want to go on any longer. If there's any more specific questions, if there's any more specific photos or videos, please don't hesitate to ask. If there are any questions, no matter how trivial, don't hesitate to ask. Part exchange is extremely welcome, even if you don't have a Mazda or Suzuki. If you have a look on our website, you'll see that we offer many other brands of vehicles on our used car offering. We get a lot of conquest business now, people switching over to Mazda, and we get some very nice part exchanges. The car will come with 1 year's Mazda ZZ Plus used car warranty, which incorporates 1 year's roadside assistance and MOT insurance for 12 months. We have fantastic finance facilities. We have a facility to extend your warranty for up to 3 years, and we can offer a home test drive and a home delivery service. So, also, just bear in mind, don't hold back on inquiring outside normal business hours. We are often manning our emails and the phones outside normal business hours. If we don't answer, leave a voicemail. We shall come back to you quicker than you'd imagined. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and we look forward to hearing from you. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.